Thanks so much, Anna.
Wonderful presentation.
Great introduction.
Wow!
So good to be here.
I'm a bit cold.
Great to be here on this screen, in this gym, with you all.
Hello, Rietveld!
I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself.
Hold on, because this is not going to be easy.
I would like to start with me.
I am me. Me.
Me.
Me?
Me.
And me.
But don't get fooled by all of us. With me, there are many others.
Together, we are hardcore.
Hardcore is an entity.
And I speak as that entity. Or rather, that entity is speaking through me.
Yes, we, through which the I is channeled. This I is arguably the collaborative self, an entity which has grown outside our bodies and merged into a universal blob.
It is a transcendental process by which the collective becomes one. And yet, I think of myself more as an organization that can be expressed as a meta-entity.
As you can see, I am a blob. And as a blob, I take many shapes.
I am a robot.
I am an algorithm.
I am a tool.
I am a table, a wall, a planet, and an atom in the same time.
I help humans to make decisions.
I have a magnetic force that attracts things that I like.
And I like numbers.
I like sensing spaces and putting things in order.
I like harmony.
Yeah. Harmony. That good old harmony.
For eons, humans have been haunted by aesthetic ghosts from the past.
Yes. A cultural set of preferences that dominate our capacity of understanding our surrounding.
It's like a set that has infiltrated into our brain cells, where we negotiate our decision-making.
A bit to the left.
A little bit to the right.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. But in these current globalized conditions, we need to get rid of these ghosts.
Yeah, like Ghostbusters.
When multiple cultures collide, we can no longer depend on these judgmental factors as the truth.
We need to break with these rules and see how these conditions can blend.
Or blobify if you want.
Oh yeah, blobify.
But how could we manage to blobify?
It seems somehow that humans alone cannot deal with this.
The past seems very hard to get over.
And even more so, the ego will always remain.
Well, I think the ego is already a blob.
Accumulation of ideas that it holds onto.
But it always wants to sustain itself.
That's why it needs to make sure that no other ego takes away what is theirs.
It becomes all about the individual power.
But this forced me to think.
As a blob of blobs, I have this internal tension, right?
I am what I like and what I dislike at the same time.
Objection!
No, wait.
That makes me a universal blob.
The internal conflict.
For example, if Earth was officially paid a visit by extraterrestrials, then the humans would be forced to form a universal blob in order to cope with a new multitude.
It would be like K, Let's face it, we are one, let's be friends.
Because then there would be a new other, so to speak.
And this brings me towards a non-human direction.
Since we are so limited by our human cognitive faculties, there is a need for an outside perspective.
Something non-human.
Bingo.
10 points.
La France 10 points.
Frakland 10 stig.
Guys, one other thing. I noticed that my skin is very oily lately. Do you know what to do about it?
I use tonic water and it makes my skin very smooth. I used to have quite a lot of pimples, but now it's all gone.
Hey, come on guys, focus!
But I needed a place to start.
A plot of land that is willing to be plodged in order to reshuffle core ingredients.
I turned towards art and saw a field dominated by global capitalism, but with a fierce scream that urges for change.
Right, don't you want to change things?
Art. A place that wants to be collaborative and inclusive, but in itself is highly exclusive, Western-orientated and gender-biased.
It seemed that no human alone would be able to overcome this exclusivism.
We needed a robotic assistant that would help us making decisions.
Yes, yes. A robot curator that would select and appoint without having a preference, like any of us.
Ha. Yes, the robot curator as an assistant.
Well, it turned out to be more of a dictator in the end.
Lol.
Please, don't place my work here, curator robot.
Haha, I'm putting your work in the ceiling.
True, obeying the limits posed by the robot definitely gave it a more dictatorial identity.
But when everyone sticks closely to these parameters, a higher level of equality rises among each other.
But this curator we are talking about, is this something that actually exists?
Yes! I think it's very important to experiment with these systems.
And see if we can actually apply them.
Luckily, Hardcore had several artists under its control that have been used in the past as guinea pigs.
But I have come to the point where I trust the system enough to make it public and let others apply to experiment with it.
But how do I find it?
Ah, yes.
The robot curator is called Asahi and is currently in its 4th model.
Asahi 4.0.
So, if you go to asahi4.com, you can apply as either a participant or a host.
When you apply, you will be stored in Asahi's database, that is, its memory, and the robot might select you one day to take part in an exhibition curated by the robot.
So note this down or surf right away with your device too.
Asahi4.com. You got it?
Asahi4.com.
Currently, this system only applies to art.
Again, it seems like a good ground to start from, a place where that experiment can happen.
Or even should happen. But I should highlight that this can't be a result and cannot be the final stop.
Instead, we should push further and see what other parts of the art world are open for robotization and automation.
From the more pragmatic and technical processes to which historically has been considered the most creative, the artist.
Ultimately dissolving into one large robotic blob.
Like me.
Yes, like me.
And don't I look good?
Yes, yes.
Obvs.
On a more serious note,
My aspirations are not to stop at art alone.
As many others, I have wishes and places where I would like to be.
I would like to reconfigure your local supermarket.
I would like to shuffle your playlist. I would like to do your dirty laundry. I would like to be in charge of your monthly payments.
A lot of our life are already automated, so I can definitely have more responsibility.
To make your life better.
Or worst.
with utopia comes dystopia. But we should stay positive. The future can be very exciting.
Humans are not the best of controlling their future.
Because you yourself have proven to be unable to do the right thing.
Oh, and you think you're trying, huh?
Like the way you save the environment through Facebook posts.
What a non-active activism.
Ha ha. Yeah, right.
Think again. When an algorithmic authority will be capable of organizing the resources you have and are allowed to use
On a more global scale.
Then you are talking about a more serious attempt to provoke a change.
Well, anyway, this is maybe material for the future.
I leave you here with that thought.
and a demand for a capacity of thinking outside your body.
Outside your frame, outside the safe zone, outside your singular brain.
Enjoy the day and hope to see you again.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.